From Royal Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, WGN is proud to present Chicago White Sox baseball. Tonight it's White Sox versus the Kansas City Royals. And hi everybody, and welcome to beautiful Royal Stadium with Tom Paciorek. I'm Ken Harrelson as the Sox get ready to take on the Royals in Game 2 of this three-game set. And as you all know by now, a no-hitter last night by Brett Saberhagen. But Wimpy, the Sox losers of 7 in a row, 13 out of the last 15, and I think we both agree unanimously that it has been a case of bad defense. Well, the Sox indeed made a move to shore up that defense this afternoon.
Yes, they did. Well, Mike Huff was placed on the disabled list today, and Sammy Sosa, who does such a great job defensively for the team for so long, is back with the ball club. Now, he'll be in right field tonight. Now, the interesting about this whole thing is that the Royals base runners were really just running at will last night. None of the Sox outfielders really had a strong throwing arm, so they were taking extra bases. Sammy Sosa should prevent some of that tonight.
Well, you know, when you talk about the Royals last night, it was Cleveland before that. It was, Detroit before that. It was Baltimore before that. So, indeed, the opposition has been taking a lot of liberties out there on the base paths. And, Wimpy, as you know, going from first to third when you shouldn't do will really hurt a pitching staff.
Oh, it really will. Hurt the pitching staff. And if you don't have a strong throwing arm in right field, it's very difficult to keep people from taking extra bases. Now, Sammy Sosa has one of the great throwing arms in baseball. He should prevent some of the extra bases that the Royals had been taking. This is a great ballpark to run in, by the way.
All right, tonight, Wilson Alvarez against Mark Davis, and Wimpy will be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this.
White Sox baseball on Channel 9. The White Sox are brought to you by Miller Lite, the beer that beer has become. Miller Lite, it's it, and that's that. The good guys at Dodge, where it's advantage Dodge. True Value. Got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value hardware stores. Southwest Airlines, offering everyday low fares and convenient flights to both Detroit Metro and Detroit City airports. Phillips 66 high-quality super clean gasolines, keeping your car's fuel injectors and intake valves clean for smooth driving performance. Barks Root Beer, the one with the bite. The Chicago Tribune. Get in the game. Pick up a Trib. And your local Toyota dealers. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Royal Stadium in Kansas City. Tim Raines, we apologize for getting back a little late. They got to us late. Has just popped out on the second pitch to center field as Robin Ventura steps in. There's Timmy. Timmy 0 for 4 last night, of course, as no Sox hitters were able to do anything against Brett Saberhagen. Here's Robin. He was 0 for 3 last night. Robin hitting at .294, 20 homers. He has knocked in 79 against the southpaw Mark Davis, making just his second start. That ball hit deep into right center field. Harvey Pulliam going back now on the track in front of the fence and makes the catch. Boy, Robin creamed it deep into right center. Meanwhile, that's a hang with him in this ballpark.
That it is. Usually the wind blows in here, and of course it's very spacious out in that area. It's 385, but then where this ball was hit, probably around the 400-foot mark. See Robin getting the head of the bat out. Watch where he makes contact right there. Great swing on a high fastball, but Pulliam knows that there's a ton of room out there. He gets to the wall and just does make the play. There was a lot of hang time on this ball, and that's what really hurt Robin Ventura.
So here's Wimpy's pick to click. Big Frank Thomas takes the fastball strike. Thomas hitting at .321, 26 homers. He's knocked in 96. Big Frank made the last out last evening. Outfield for the most part straight up. Change up off the plate. 330 down each line here at Royal Stadium. 385 in the gaps. 410 straightaway center field. As the Sox, losers of 7 in a row, Kansas City has won 2 out of the last 3, but they have lost 8 out of the last 12. So both clubs lately have been scuffling. Sox with a record of 67 and 58, 9 games over. Kansas City that mark of 64 and 60. Also, this will be the 8th meeting of the season between the two clubs. Sox have won 4 out of the first 7. 2-1 pitch. Curveball. Yes, says home plate umpire John Hirschbeck. There are the numbers on Mark Davis, as we mentioned, making his second start of the season in his 21st appearance. That ball hit off the end of the bat into left field. Kirk Gibson makes a catch, so an easy 1-2-3 inning for Mark Davis. And after a half-inning of play, it's the Sox nothing and Kansas City coming up.
For the first inning here at Kansas City. And here's the way the Royals line up behind manager Hal McRae. They're 4 games over the 500 mark. Leading off in left field, Kirk Gibson. Batting second and center, Brian McRae. George Brett naturally in that number 3 spot. He's the DH. Cleanup man, first baseman Todd Benzinger. Bill Pecota plays third base. He's followed by Harvey Pulliam in right field. Bottom third of the lineup has David Howard at shortstop, Terry Shumpert at second base, and Tim Spear is the catcher. Defensively, the Sox have Raines, Johnson, and Sosa in the outfield. Graybeck, Guillen, Cora, and Ventura around the horn. On the battery tonight of Wilson Alvarez and Carlton Fisk. There's a look at Wilson. He's 1-1 on the season, 3.60 earned run average. He has 3 games started, 1 complete game, that being that no-hitter, of course, score a couple weeks ago in Baltimore. Wilson has worked 17 1/3 innings, given up 13 hits, 8 walks, 11 strikeouts. American League batting just 200 against Wilson Alvarez. In his last start, that was on the 21st, he pitched 4 innings. Gave up 6 runs, 4 earned. He walked 2 while striking out 3. That was his first loss of the season. So, Wilson Alvarez trying to get back on track here tonight against the Kansas City Royal Ball Club that pounded out 13 hits last night against the Sox pitching staff. Sox need good pitching. They need good defense in order to stay in this ball game.
So here's Kirk Gibson. Hitting at .248, 15 homers. He has knocked in 50, 3 for 4 last night with an RBI. 34-year-old veteran in his last 12 at-bats has 6 hits. So the Sox straight up. Graybeck even with a bag at third. Tempted bunt right to Ventura, so 1 pitch, 1 out. Thank you. Check out the men in blue for you.
Center fielder Brian McRae.
Behind the plate, John Hirschbeck. Dave Phillips, crew chief at first, Gary Cederstrom at second, and Ted Hendry over at third. Here's the center fielder switch hitting Brian McRae, hitting at .269, 6 homers, 52 ribbies, 1 for 4 last evening. McRae, 24 years old today, as he takes a fastball strike. Beautiful Royal Stadium. They built it back in 1973, and what a magnificent job they did. Of course, they've added the waterfalls out there in left center field and the new scoreboard. Just a fabulous facility. Graybeck on the short hop. 2 gone.
You got to be quick to play the infield on this artificial surface, and Graybeck was guarding against the bunt right there, so he had to be quick to his backhand side. He's playing even with the bag at third, so he took away a possible double from McRae right there. This will bring up George Brett. I think George is getting a pretty good groove. We said last night he's getting closer to that George Brett form where he can go up there and hit a ball hard every time up there for a month. That's how good he is.
There are the numbers on the 38-year-old veteran. 2 for 3 last night. Lifetime .297 hitter against White Sox pitching with 21 homers and 100 knocked in. Check that, 101 knocked in. So the 21-year-old southpaw Wilson Alvarez delivers low and away. Brett, 5 hits in his last 13 at-bats. Has 2,807 career hits. That's 33rd on the all-time list. George Sisler next. George also has 1,446 RBIs. That's also 33rd all-time. Next is Jim Rice. That pitch outside and the count 2-0. George has 1,009 extra base hits, tying Ernie Banks for 17th on the all-time list. 2 behind Rogers Hornsby. That's souvenir left side.
George also probably has the oldest batting helmet in baseball. Look at that thing, full of pine tar paint. Look at that. You can hardly see the 5. Must be his lucky helmet, huh?
He's something. Well, what a player he has been in his career. Well, we've talked about it so often, Wimpy. I've played with some great ones, seen a lot of great ones play as that slashed foul. And thinking back and reflecting back over my career of playing and watching big league baseball, I think I have probably enjoyed watching George Brett play more than any other player.
That's as good a tribute as you can give a guy. You know, he just epitomizes the way the game should be played. Hard nose, hustling all the time. Never have we seen him not run out of baseball that he has hit. Never. Even with the injuries that he has incurred, which have been plentiful. That pitch just inside and the count goes full. I mean, even when he had the hemorrhoids, he still busted his fanny down the line. A little play on words there. You know, it's funny. I'll tell you this after this pitch if we have time.
3-2. That's popped up in the short left field. Tim Raines coming on. Timmy's there, so Wilson Alvarez has himself an easy 1-2-3 inning, and we'll continue with the Wimperoo story when we return. No score after 1. Leads off the top of the second. No score. A couple of 1-2-3 innings for both southpaws. Mark Davis and Wilson Alvarez. Carlton hitting at .263, 10 homers. He has knocked in 51. 0 for 3 last evening against Brett Saberhagen. Takes the fastball low and away. Craig Graybeck on deck. And Sammy Sosa. Yes, in the hole. Misses the outside corner and the count 2-0. Couple of finals in the National League. Cubs beat the Dodgers this afternoon at Wrigley Field 2-1. Pirates over the Padres at Three Rivers 5-2. Pudge goes after ball 3 and the count 2-1. Other National League scores show Cincinnati leading Philadelphia 2-0. That's in the top of the 6th at Riverfront. Down in Atlanta, Braves leading Montreal 2-1, bottom of the 4th. Top of the first inning at St. Louis, Giants have put 3 on the board, still hitting. And down at Houston, Astros leading the Mets 1-0. That's in the bottom of the first, and the Astros still hitting. Davis, obviously, a big disappointment for the Royals. Signing that big contract. Curveball high, then the count 3-1. And you know, you ask Wimpy, the funny thing about when you talk about Mark Davis to Kansas City people, you ask 5 different guys what's wrong, and they'll give you 5 different opinions.
That's something. Well, he's had a few injury problems, but
good hack by Pudge, and the count goes full.
Really inexplainable. Last year he looked like he started the season off having good stuff, but he just couldn't get anybody out. And I think that from a confidence level, it just got to an all-time low, and I think that was his biggest problem to battle back from. Of course, you know, when you're making $3 million, people expect a whole lot from you.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, that's right.
That's up high, ball 4. So the first runners, you look at Pat Dobson, Royal pitching coach. Of course, he had Mark Davis at San Diego back in '89 when he had 44 saves and won the Cy Young Award.
Oh, Davis had great stuff. You know, he was with the Giants when my last year in the National League. That one year I played with the Mets, and I'll tell you what, he was tough to hit off of. He had an outstanding curveball, good a curveball from a left-hander as you ever want to see. Probably the best in baseball at that time. Yeah. As Craig Graybeck steps in, hits that ball deep, but going foul. Right size, wrong shape. So our picks to click tonight. Wimpy had Big Frank. Our producer, director, Skip Ellison, has Sammy Sosa, who I was going to pick, but Skip had first pick. And there's mine. There's Sammy. Craig Graybeck is mine. It's good to see number 25 back. We'll tell you what he did down in Vancouver when he steps in. That curveball high. Well, Craig, best fastball hitter on the team. Here are the numbers on Graybeck. Yeah, the ball he hit out of the ballpark was a changeup that Davis let up a little bit, got upstairs that is, and Graybeck just a little bit too quick on it.
Carlton takes off. Has a curveball strike. The throw right on the money.
Well, somebody missed something right there, because you know Carlton Fisk did not have the straight steal sign.
No, you would assume that Craig missed the hit and run.
Yep. Well, there's another thing. We haven't really seen him miss many signs, but when you're in a team funk, as the White Sox are, that's what happens. There's a curveball right there. Certainly a hittable pitch. And Spear just routinely throws out Fisk.
So Graybeck is gone, 2 out.
There's that curveball right there to Graybeck. The last pitch was a good one. It was a hard breaker, a late breaker. That's what Davis really featured at San Diego a couple of years ago, 1989, when he registered those 44 saves and won the Cy Young Award.
So here's Sosa. Sammy hitting at 209 homers, 26 RBIs. Down at Vancouver, hit 267, 3 homers, and he knocked in 19. Sammy also had 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts, 17 walks. That was in 116 at bats, encompassing 32 ball games. 7 doubles, 2 triples. Slashes that fastball foul. So the count 1-1. Mike Huff was put on the DL. So the Sox looking for some defense, and certainly they have it in number 25. A changeup high. 2 balls and a strike.
And in the meantime, Sammy picked up a pair of those very attractive black high-top baseball shoes. Blech.
Sammy got a wider stance.
Boy, he sure does.
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield. Straight up for Sosa. Curveball high off the plate, so the count goes full. If you just tuned in, no score here in the top of the 2nd inning. Fastball. Sammy thought it was low. He gets rung up. Nothing across after an inning and a half. No score. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. And a reminder, on Labor Day, September 2nd at 7:05, the Sox host these same Kansas City Royals. And it is also Chicago Tribune half-price night. Plus, all kids in attendance will receive a lunch bag courtesy of Koala Yummies. So just call or visit your local Ticketmaster at 312-831-1SOX. That's a lunch bag courtesy of Koala Yummies, September 2nd at 7:05. Todd Benzinger, cleanup hitter, first baseman, switch hitter, takes a strike. See the numbers on Benzinger. Takes another one, and the count quickly 0-2. Todd last night had 3 RBIs on 2 of the softest little ground balls you ever want to see. Meanwhile, they don't put pictures on scorecards. He'll take them.
Gladly he'll take them.
Now feel straight up for Benzinger. One hopper, Graybeck.
Batting 5th, number 32, the third baseman, Bill Pecota.
That'll bring up the 31-year-old third sacker, Bill Pecota. He and David Howard were given the jobs at the All-Star break by manager Hal McRae over Kevin Seitzer and Kurt Stillwell. Pecota doing a fine job over there, hitting at 289, 5 homers. He's knocked in 33. He was 1 for 4 last night with an RBI. There's a breaking ball strike from Wilson. And there's Hal McRae. Since he took over the ball club, the Royals are 48-38. since taking over back on May 24th. Fastball low and away, so the count 1-1 to Pacoda.
Yeah, I saw Hal McRae throwing batting practice today. You know, it was the first time I've ever seen him throw a baseball. I called him. I said, "You sandbagger." He was a DH for years and never even owned a glove.
There's a base hit into right center field. So Pacoda gets the first hit of the ball game.
Didn't hit it real hard, but it was in the right spot. He can hit the ball all the way, all around the field. He's got extra base power, not really home run type power, but he's doing a good job defensively. Yeah, McRae for years was the DH here and did such a great job running the bases and hitting, driving in runs and such, but he never ever went out on the field. You know, always had some kind of shoulder problem, like a rotator thing. He threw a lot of pitches by George in batting practice because I don't think George anticipated that type of fastball. So he was really sandbagging for all those years. He could have gone out in the field.
Yeah, we were joking before the game about surviving. He says, "I know how to survive." And he indeed will be a good one here.
Yeah.
As Harvey Pulliam, 23-year-old outfielder out of San Francisco. He's 5 for 15 since being called up with a homer and an RBI. One out, Pacoda at first. Outfield spread out straight away. Pulliam 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. He does not look that heavy, but he has some good bat speed. Watching him take batting practice, he can rake it. Fouls that curveball off, and the count 0-2. So with the count 2 strikes to Pulliam, let's pause for our station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
Along with the Whipperoo Tom Paciorek, this is Ken Harrelson from Royal Stadium. Sox trying to break a 7-game losing streak. Second of this 3-game set against Kansas City and 5th of the 6-game road trip before the Sox return home with 4 with Cleveland on Thursday. Starting Thursday, I should say. And then 4 with the Royals. The ball and 2 strikes. Raines in left, Johnson in center, Sosa in right. On the outside corner, he'll grab some bench. First strikeout for Alvarez.
Look, a changeup right here from Wilson. He sure dotted the outside corner. Pulliam just couldn't pull the trigger on this one. Take a look. Oh, that's a little bit too quick to tell.
That was a good fastball.
Just blew him away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look at that. See, his hands had already moved forward. And there was no chance he could wait back and hit that pitch, so he's just relying on the umpire to call it a ball right there. Let's try it one more time. Maybe in even actual speed.
Well, we have a little problem with that tape machine as David Howard steps in. Switch hitting shortstop. Checks it up. Foul ball down to Ventura. David hitting at .228, a homer, 17 RBIs. Just 24 years old. Last 21 at bats, has 7 hits. And as most of you know, David, the son of former Sox right-hander Bruce Howard. Outfield swung well around to the right. Sosa really short. Pacoda just a decent lead over there. Fastball, that'll be souvenir right side.
I was just going to say, Pacoda really doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere when you have both feet on the dirt right there, and that right foot not even close to the artificial surface. But he does have 11 stolen bases, which is kind of surprising. Very deceptive speed. Probably will lull you into sleep more and go when you least anticipate it.
Oh, to the count to Howard. Beautiful day here at Mid-America. Pitch popped up. Lance Johnson's there. He'll make the catch. That'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit. No errors. 1 man left. After 2, no score. Of White Sox baseball is Bowling Auto Sales, where it's Advantage Dodge. Lance Johnson leads off the top of the 3rd inning. No score. High chopper. Somebody's got to hurry. He's going to beat this one out. Yes.
Hey, maybe the worm has turned right there.
I love it when the Sox get a little something going with. Score 2 or 3 without getting the ball out of the infield.
Oh, that's a White Sox rally. Of course, that happened a lot last year. Lance, boy, he was a culprit many times last season. There's a little chopper, Lance, a little bit too quick, a little quick with those hips right there. You can see nobody really has a chance. Shumpert, well, he'll give it a courtesy grab, but Lance Johnson easily across first base. You couldn't have thrown the ball in that spot any better than that.
Here's Joey Cora hitting at 249. No homers. He's knocked in 16. 0 for 4 last night. Pacoda even with a bag as he squares to Bunny. Bunts at it. Pitch outside and the count 0-1.
I like bunting in this situation. Heck, you got to try and get some runs any way you can. First team that scores usually is the team that wins. About 75% of the time that's true. And the Sox have just not been able to put many points on the board lately.
Good lead by Lance. Short step, little bunt out in front of the mound. That's going to be a good one as Davis now. Wow, close play. He made a wide throw to Terry Shumpert, so it'll be a sacrifice 1-4. Good play by Shumpert.
Great play by Shumpert. I'm not too sure he kept his foot on the bag right there, but Davey Phillips was right there to make the call. He almost threw this one into right field. That would have been the break the Sox have been looking for about 2 weeks now. There's the bunt. He popped it up, but it was in a good enough spot. It wasn't high enough for Davis to make a play. So watch the throw to first base. Shumpert becoming a first baseman. Did he have his foot on? Yes. Good call. Outstanding play by Shumpert to get the out. So here's Ozzie with one out, and runner in scoring position.
Ozzie 0 for 3 last night, hitting at 261. A couple of homers. He's knocked in 39. We got from the University of Kansas, Zeta Beta Tau fraternity, rooting for the Sox. Yes, they say. A lot of Sox fans, as usual, in attendance. They're wearing a different look on their face right now, though, than they were a couple of weeks ago. One of what's going on, what's happening.
Yeah, they were strutting a couple weeks ago. Now it's a little different.
I'll tell you what, I wish that there was somebody who could give them a definitive answer. Unfortunately, nobody has the definitive answer. There's a curveball strike. So the count 0-2 to Guillen. So a Sox fan, John Cleveland, we understand, just got out of the hospital. Hope he feels better soon. From John, Jerry, and Terry. Art Davis out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Fastball hit into left field. Kirk Gibson is there. 2 gone. Well, we've talked so much about how teams have fared after they threw a no-hitter. How about after they received a no-hitter? You see, after Toronto was no-hit by Nolan Ryan, they went 9-3. Montreal, well, they went 1-9. Oakland 11-5. LA 5-5. Baltimore 8-4. And We'll see. I know one thing. It couldn't be any worse. Sox, after Wilson Alvarez tossed that gem against Baltimore, went 2-13.
Yeah, the team's at rock bottom right now, so there is only one way to go, and that's up.
Tim Raines.
Speaking of rock.
Curveball strike. Semi-fly to center field his first trip. Rock had that 13-game hitting streak. That was a Sox high broken last evening. That's hit into the gap in left center field. Gibson makes a catch. An outstanding catch by Kirk Gibson, robbing Tim Raines of extra bases and saving a run. Nothing across. There was a hit. No errors. 1 man left after 2.5. No score. Mercer. 34-year-old veteran Kirk Gibson with an outstanding catch, and what a contrast from last evening to that one he just made. This is last night on the controversial call off the bat of Dan Pasqua, a play that Gibson should have made. No question about it. The ball should have been caught. Took his eye off of it, and they ruled it an error. And watch the catch right here off the bat of Tim Raines.
Look at the concentration he has on this catch number 2, Monty.
He didn't take his eye off that one.
Yeah. That was a much more difficult play because that didn't have any hang time. That was just a bullet off the bat of Raines, and that's the way the White Sox are going right now.
Terry Shumpert leads it off, takes it inside. Jerry hitting at .229, 4 homers. He's knocked in 29, 1 for 4 last evening. Been swinging the bat better as of late. Last 35 at bats, has 11 hits. There's a fastball strike. It'll be Shumpert, Spear, then Gibson. Big gap between Raines and Lance Johnson. Checks it up on the fastball. And a reminder, there will be White Sox batting helmets courtesy of Coca-Cola for all kids on Sunday, September 1st, as the Sox host the Indians at 1:35 p.m. Tickets are still available at your local Ticketmaster or dial 312-831-1-SOX. Curveball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, you know, Wimpian, regarding that catch last night, that we both agreed that the ball should have been caught. It should have been an error. You know, we're not talking about high school or college baseball here. We're talking about Major League Baseball. That ball, and the way I evaluate it is this: when a play is of that nature, I say, should the ball have been caught? Not could it have been, should it have been caught? And when you can say to yourself, yes, the ball should have been caught, then if it should have been caught, then it is an error.
Yeah, I agree with that. You see Saberhagen on the bench right there. That was really shot the Sox had at getting a base hit off this guy.
I think really the toughest one was the play he made off Ozzie to end the 8th inning.
Oh, yeah.
And here's Ozzie. 1 gone.
Well, the thing about Saberhagen, he's such a good athlete on the mound. He made that play. He turns himself into an infielder, that 5th infielder. Especially on this artificial surface when the ball's hit up the middle. If you can play some little defense yourself, you can prevent a lot of runs from scoring. You
know, the only thing that amazes me about that no-hitter last night is the fact that it was number 1 in his career.
Yeah, and then he has no one-hitters either. That's a bit of a shock, as good as he is. See the list of no-hitters. Steve Busby had 2 of them. Jim Colburn. And now Brett Saberhagen.
Boy, Busby had great stuff.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Here's a catcher, Tim Spear, out of Waco, Texas. Takes a breaking ball strike. Busby had outstanding ability. Came up with that. He was one of the first guys to come up with the now common phrase, torn rotator cuff, that they diagnosed as a rotator cuff. Great fastball, great curveball. He had one of those curveballs you could hear. You hear the seams grabbing the air. Zzz, dentist drill. Souvenir right side in the count 1-2. But Saberhagen, as we discussed it last evening, to me, he can do more with a fastball than anybody in this league. Even though he does not throw as hard as Clemens, he can control it better than Roger, and he can work with one pitch better than any pitcher in this league.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Oh, he had it geared up. He had to be thrown in the 90s. This ball fouled back in the high 90s. And the thing about it is that first pitch that he threw Tim Raines to lead off this ball game, he threw it at least as hard the last pitch of the game too. So he was just had tremendous stuff, tremendous durability last night. Because of course I think the adrenaline was really kicking too, and that really helped him. But he was awesome.
I've seen quite a few no-hitters. That's as legitimate a no-hitter as I have ever seen.
Yeah.
There was no tricking anybody.
Yeah, that was my 7th one that I've been around. 3 as a player. Never played on a winning no-hitter. And of course, we've done 4 games in the last 2 years. No-hitters. 2 for, 2 against. And won 3 of them.
That's right. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and inside. A report from Birmingham. Bo Jackson walked in his first plate appearance. In his second, grounded into a double play. The one thing that hits me about this, though, in regards to Bo's return, is Ozzie waits on it. Now on the second hop. 2 gone.
Yes.
We haven't seen on the clips or anything else, or even over the wire services, on the strikeouts. Looks like he's putting the ball in play all the time.
Yeah. Well, you wonder about that hip injury. Of course, every bad swing that I have seen in the last 4 years watching these games from the center field camera, that front hip has already flown open early. So we don't know how that is going to affect Bo. That is his front hip, the problem area. So if he's going to be able to fly open earlier, or if he's going to make him stay back a little bit more, and not take that big swing that he had when he was playing here with Kansas City. Be interesting.
Here's Kirk Gibson. Tried to bunt on the first pitch, leading off in the first inning. Popped it up to Robin Ventura. Takes a slider on the outside corner. Texas leading the Yankees 3-2. Bottom of the 6th in New York. Toronto leading Baltimore 6-1 in the 6th inning at Memorial Stadium, as that's trouble. Look at Graybeck. Oh, he won't be able to get him, but what an effort by Craig Graybeck.
There's some guys that would be out on a play like that, but not Kirk Gibson. We saw him yesterday run those bases. I'll tell you one thing, he is still low flying right here. You see how he makes late contact way behind him. That's why he hits that ball weakly left side, but the artificial surface helps him. High bounce, Graybeck. Tough play right there.
Outstanding play by Graybeck.
And that could have saved 2 double bases right there.
So 2 out, good speed aboard. Gibson has 16 stolen bases in 19 attempts. Top of the 7th inning at Cleveland, Minnesota and the Tribe tied at 1. Later on, Boston and Oakland, Milwaukee at Seattle, and the Tigers against the Halos and their new manager Bob Rogers. McRae bounced out to Graybeck his first trip.
Well, Detroit and Toronto both started off well on their road trips. They're still tied for the lead in the American League East. Toronto beat Baltimore 5-2. Detroit over California 5-1.
No score, bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs. Gibson at first. Has a good lead. Fastball upstairs. McRae owns the longest hitting streak in the American League this year. It was 22 games. That's the 3rd longest in Kansas City club history. Fastball, upper deck.
Let me guess who's got the longest hitting streak. Couldn't be Georgie, could it?
I have no idea, but I would bet with you. You didn't put it in here.
I'm trying to think of. Hal McRae has put together some long hitting
I was getting ready
streaks
to say,
too.
it was either be George or Hal McRae.
Yeah.
I remember Amos Otis had a long one way back when.
Yeah, he was a great hitter here. Great player.
Well, this is a good yard to put together a long hitting streak.
Yes, it is. It depends on really the type hitter that you are. If you're a fly ball hitter now, that's another story. You're not going to get a whole lot here from an average standpoint. Boy, if you can hit line drives and hard ground balls, you can get a lot of hits hit for big, big average. A lot of extra base hits here.
Chases ball 2 and a count of ball and 2 strikes. Now, one thing the Sox are doing in the first 2 games of this series, they're catching a bit of a break without the absence of Danny Tartabull. What a year he's having. Tartabull nursing a sore knee that he hurt a couple of days ago sliding. Danny hitting a .325, 25 homers, 81 RBIs. Now Brian McRae is second on the ball club as he's looking at Danilo with those 52 RBIs. McRae also leading the team in stolen bases with 17, runs with 70. One-two pitch upstairs. Minnesota did not score in the top of the 7th inning. Game tied at 1 with the Tribe. That's a base hit into center field. Lance Johnson gets to it. Gibson will hold at second. So with 2 out, infield single by Gibson and a solid single to center by McRae.
The designated hitter.
Good job of hitting right here by McRae. Waited back on the curveball nicely. Hammered it right up the middle. Brian, better hitter from the right side of the plate, coming in at a .316 hitter right-handed. .247 from the left side. Of course, a lot more at bats, twice as many at bats from the left side of the plate.
So here's Brett. Dennis Jimenez popped up to Tim Raines to end the first inning. Brett 7 homers, 48 RBIs.
Well, that's very low for him. Usually George Brett always great in the clutch. Just .244 right now in this season. Runners in scoring position.
I want to know the count. Gas. Wimpy, you were starting to tell a story earlier when George was at the plate.
Gee, I think I forgot what it was about. Actually, it really had to do with that little session with he and McRae. He was trying to tell McRae to key down a little bit with that blazing fastball of his, and actually he was throwing it from about 45 feet. George was out here early taking extra batting practice, as all great hitters do. You know, he had a couple hits last night, not satisfied.
2 balls and a strike. Well, you mentioned Marullo during the break.
Oh yeah, and then Matt talked with him. He took Matt aside, talked to him for about 20 minutes. You know, a little bit about hitting, a little confidence factor too. You know, it's one thing working with your hitting instructor every day, but when you get to talk to a great player and listen to his theories on hitting and things like that, it just improves your overall situation. George was very helpful with Matt today.
Breaking ball down low and the count 3-1. Well, that's what all your great players do. They will talk to youngsters. You know, when I was a kid, I just came into the league. Al Kaline, I asked if he would talk to me a little bit. Couldn't have been more gracious. You know, sit there and talk to you. Did the same thing with other good hitters. You know, could you give me 5 minutes? Just go over and chat with them for a while. That's how you learn. You learn by hearing ideas from The guys who know how to do it. Of course, then you got to put it in play. That's ball 4. That'll load him up. So the first walk by Wilson Alvarez. All this coming with 2 out. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Todd Benzinger, as Sammy Ellis comes bouncing out of the dugout. You know, the one thing in reflecting back on when I was a youngster coming into the league and talking with, you know, Al Kalines and Brooks Robinsons and guys of that ilk about hitting, the one thing that always popped in to my mind when you got finished talking with them, they all sat on pitches. They all looked for pitches. I mean, you never talked too much about mechanics.
Yeah, they really stayed away from that.
Yeah, what you talked about looking for pitches off certain pitchers, knowing the pitchers, studying the pitchers, knowing what they were going to try to do to you in tight situations in a ball game, how they were going to try to get you out. You might have to go up there and sit on one pitch the whole at bat, and if you didn't get it, you just had to tip your cap to it. So here's Benzinger with 2 out and the bases loaded. Chaperazzi comes in, gets it on the first bounce over to Ventura, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across a couple of hits. There's 3 left after 3. Zip zip. Off the top of the 4th inning in a scoreless tie. Robin 0 for 1. Sent Harvey Pulliam back against the fence out there in deep right center field his first trip. Takes that curveball high on the count 2-0. It'll be Ventura, Thomas, and Fisk. Fastball inside, so the count 3-0. And a reminder, you can plan a pregame party below right field at New Comiskey Park on the Kingsford Charcoal patio area. Party packages are available for groups of 20 to 1,500 people. As Robin takes 4 in a row. Second walk issued by Davis, leadoff man aboard. Those party packages are available for those big groups or small groups. So for more information, just call the Sox sales office at 312-924-1000. That is the Bertucci Boys area. Bobby and Bruno with all those good ribs and chicken.
The official ribs and chicken of the Chicago White Sox television booth.
Here's Big Frank.
Thank you.
Curveball strike.
That's a big problem Davis had last year, 2 hawks with base on balls. You know, coming into this game tonight, just 26 innings of work, 20 walks. That'll get you in a whole bunch of trouble. Don't care where you're pitching. Big ballpark, little ballpark.
Backdoored him with that curveball. So very quickly it's 0-2. Frank hit one off the end of the bat. He just a little quick last time up. Applied out to Gibson. Yes, he did. Third strikeout for Davis.
The catcher, Carlton.
Well, Frank's down on the count, 0-2. Take a look at this last fastball. It's down, certainly out of the strike zone. Frank, well, that's as bad a swing as you'll see him ever take. Looked like he tried to check up there at the last. A little bit confused in that at bat.
Here's Carlton. He drew the first walk, leading off the 2nd inning. Then on an apparent missign by Graybeck on a hit and run, Carlton was thrown out easily at 2nd. I mentioned earlier, Davis does not have a good move to first base. Short lead by Ventura. Outfield swung just a bit around to the left. For the most part, straight up. Fastball up high. Carlton, .275 lifetime hitter against Kansas City with 25 homers and 96 RBIs. Change up, looped out in the right field, right at Harvey Pulliam. No runs, 1 hit for the Sox, no runs, 3 hits for the Royals as Craig Graybeck, who was called out on strikes his first trip, steps in. Curveball high. Sammy Sosa on deck. If you joined us late, that's right. Sammy Sosa was recalled today. Put Mike Huff on the disabled list. There's the Panther. Defense. Defense. Pitch inside and the count 2-0. Davis and Spear taking a little too much time for Graybeck, who backs out. Fastball high behind second base. Terry Shumpert. That'll do it. Nothing across. No hits, no errors. A man left after 3.5. No score. That's the story. Bottom of the 4th inning. So as you can see, in the last 13 innings, the Sox have come up with only 1 base hit. That was a little infield single by Lance Johnson in the 3rd. For Kansas City, it'll be Pacoda, Pulliam, and Howard to face the 21-year-old southpaw Wilson Alvarez. And a reminder, there are still a limited number of 1991 opening day tickets encased in lucite available for 1995. These are a sure collector's item. So to purchase, just call 708-398-3798. Pacoda 1 for 1. A base hit into right center field his first trip. Takes the ball and the count 2-0. I sent a big White Sox hello to a couple of Sox fans down in Orlando. Lee and Nancy Haver watching the game tonight. The commissioner. Pacoda out in front, hits that one foul. 2 balls and a strike. Hard hit by Graybeck. Down into the corner. Extra bases. So a leadoff double for Bill Pacoda.
And Pacoda continues to impress. That's his 18th double of the season. Well, he got the head of the bat out that time and just nails it between Craig Graybeck and third base line. Look at that. Stayed closed a long time. Got the head of the bat out in a good hitting position. So he's at second with nobody out, and Harvey Pulliam's job right here is to get him to third with less than 1 out. Less than 2 outs, that is. See if he can't get an easy RBI for David Howard.
Harvey Pulliam called out on strikes his first trip.
Let's see how well this young man executes right here. See if he takes a shot at right field, which is what he's supposed to do.
Tell you what, he better.
He didn't.
No, I'm getting ready to say, with that manager over there, Hal McRae, he better.
Oh boy. You just get yourself in the batter's box in a position where you can do that. I always found that if you move up in front of the plate, up in the batter's box, and kind of got off the plate a little bit, try and make as many pitches away from you as possible. Of course, using an inside-out swing the whole time could hit the ball to right field a little bit better. It's tough for a pull hitter, though. Right-handed pull hitter to do this. Look out. Good pitch.
1-1 to count.
Carlton Fisk wants it in. He got it in. Wow. Harvey Pulliam can't believe it didn't hit him.
Top of the 8th inning at Cleveland. Still tied at 1. Twins and Indians. A little tardy right there. So the count 1-2.
Ernie and Patty Valadares is here tonight. Well, they were here last night celebrating their honeymoon. Got married Saturday at the ballpark. Thanks for the ride, guys. And they wanted to say hi to everyone back home in Chicago. They needed that rent-a-car, I'm telling you.
Wimpy. That was a terrible thing you did, my man. It's looped out into short right field. Here comes somebody, nobody. Ball falls in between. This could be an inside the park. That's exactly what it's going to be. An inside the park home run for Harvey Pulliam. And the Royals lead it 2-0.
Oh boy, this is just awful. You know, there's a ball that could have been caught by either one of the two guys. Just total lack of communication right there between Sammy Sosa and Lance Johnson. Watch it, pretty good pitch on the outside corner. He just nubs it off the end of the bat. Bad swing, everything. And there you see it. Lance cuts in front of Sammy, who's going to make the backhand catch, and they just got all tangled up. No chance right there. You can walk around the bases from here. 2-0 Kansas City, and what more can happen?
That's exactly what number 10 is asking himself right there. So 2-0. Kansas City lead, and that'll bring up the shortstop, David Howard. David fly to center field his first trip. Pulliam with his second homer and his second and third RBI since being called up from Omaha. Fastball off the plate. Upstairs and the count 2-0. Now Sammy Ellis comes out. Bottom of the seventh inning in the Bronx. Rangers still leading the Yankees 3-2. Bottom of the seventh at Memorial Stadium. Blue Jays leading Baltimore 6-1.
Well,
and we understand that's the 5th inside the park home run for Kansas City this year.
wow,
That's a lot.
that's a bunch. Well, Harvey, you ought to go looking for wallets after the game. You ought to find a bunch of them full of money. That kind of luck. It should have been a routine out.
Pitch misses in the count 3-0. 2 runs, 5 hits for Kansas City. No runs on 1 hit for the Sox.
Wow, that's not the guy you want to walk right here. David Howard, 220 hitter.
Activity down in the Sox pen. Ryan Draymond. That'll bring up the second baseman, Terry Shumpert.
Terry Shumpert.
Shumpert bounced out to Ozzie his first trip.
And Terry wanted to make sure we said hi to his brother Willie in Paducah, Kentucky. One of your favorite spots.
Paducah. I like Kentucky.
Great Paintsville, that great course.
Paintsville, Harrell, Pikesville, Lexington.
Yep.
I got my money in all those towns.
I got a feeling some of those horses have some of your money.
No, never. I don't bet. The only thing I bet on is golf and gin. That's the only 2 things I'll bet. Occasional hearts. You couldn't get, not $2.
No.
No. Now time is called as Wilson taking a long time. So here we go. Outfield shaded a bit to the right. Quick snap through, not in time. Shumpert trying to push it to the right side. He bunted at it, so we'll see what the call is. Yes, it is. 1 strike.
It's a good fastball there by Alvarez. Really popped the glove of Carlton Fisk. That snap throw almost got him. Robin Ventura looks like he's played first base all his life. The way he tried to put that tag on him, just missed.
Shumpert's the guy that George Brett thinks is going to be an outstanding player. George is very well qualified to speak on that.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, one thing that Shumpert can run, and he's a good defensive player. You know, watching him hit, he's got that front hip already open. He really never closes it back up. It's very difficult for him to really drive the ball, hit it with any kind of authority.
Great back. Cora. Rack him up. 5-4-3. Double play number 108 for the Sox this year.
And Wilson Alvarez should be out of this inning unscathed. You know, you really look at this lineup, Hawk, this Kansas City lineup, and it really doesn't throw a whole lot of fear into you. Up and down.
Nope. Really, the only guy in there that scares you to death is Brett.
Yeah, and of course, if Tartabull were around, that would certainly make it interesting.
He's not. And that's, you know, coming in here again, you figure we're catching a break when we found it yesterday as Tim Spear checks it up, takes the ball. But Tartabull was going to miss last night's ball game, so you felt good about that. And he's missing tonight's ball game. You felt good about that. Meanwhile, we got no hit last night. We only have 1 hit tonight. High in the count, 2-0.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Danny Tartabull at the end of the year. He's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
So, ante up a little bit.
What hurts? A whole lot. What
a bunch.
I'll tell you, having 25 home runs and playing in this ballpark. You know, you go back over the years and you look at guys in the parks they played and situations they played under. To me, still the most outstanding home run record for 1 year was the 46 that DiMaggio hit at Old Yankee Stadium. Having a right-handed hitter hit. They tell me that year he hit 46 playing in Yankee Stadium, and also he hit just innumerable balls out there, 420, 430, 440 in left center field that were just caught.
Wow. Yeah.
Gas. So the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That was certainly what they used to call Death Valley for right-handed hitters. Man hit 46 home runs playing in that park, and all of a sudden you take this one. This one in Cleveland, 2 toughest parks in the American League to hit home runs in, and Tartabull has 25. Sammy Sosa. That'll retire the side, but the inside the park home run by Harvey Pulliam, and after 4, Royals lead it 2-0. Participating advertiser of White Sox baseball is King Dodge. Where's Advantage Dodge?
Top of the 5th inning here at Kansas City. The Sox trailing the Royals 2-0. And inside the park, 2-run homer off the bat of Harvey Pulliam. The big blow in this game. There you see the numbers. 2-5-0 for Kansas City, 0-1-0 for the White Sox. Sox with just that one little hit, that little infield hit by Lance Johnson. Key play of the game was the diving catch by Kirk Gibson on the line shot hit off the bat of Tim Raines. There's a strike curveball to Sammy Sosa, leading things off for the Sox. Oh, that catch in the 3rd inning saved a run also. That was a possible inside the park homer. The way Timmy Raines runs, he could have possibly at least gotten a 3rd. Maybe taking a shot with 2 out. There's a curveball in the dirt, 1-1. Mark Davis coming into this ball game with a 5.13 earned run average. He's making his 2nd start of the season. Throws a fastball right by Sammy. So he's ahead in the count now, 1-2. Sosa hitting just 199 as he stands in there. 9 homers, 26 RBIs. right there in the outside corner fastball. So Sosa called out on strikes for the second consecutive time.
The center fielder, Lance Johnson.
Here's the replays right there. I mean, no doubt about it. It looked like it's split the plate just below the belt. Looked like an excellent pitch to hit. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th inning. Bring up Lance Johnson. He's got the only White Sox hit. Little dribbler, the right side of the infield. Nobody could make the play. So Lance 1 for 1. He's hitting .255 on the year. No homers, 35 RBIs. Fouls this one off left side. Cubs beat the Dodgers this afternoon at Wrigley Field 2-1. It's a big ball game right there because the Atlanta Braves are breathing down the Dodgers' necks in that National League West. And that's getting more exciting by the day. And with Davis Justice back, ball hit right back to Davis. He plays it off his back. He throws. He gets it. Good job of recovering right there by Mark Davis. Looked like he turned his back on the play, hit him in the right spot, and didn't ricochet too far away for him.
Lance hits it hard. There's his fastball right there.
The second baseman, Joey Cora.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hawk, that ball does get back to you in a hurry, doesn't it, on that artificial surface? Man, so if that pitcher can be a good fielder on this stuff, he can catch it anywhere. Really helps himself becoming that 5th infielder. Takes a lot of pressure off his middle infielders. Here's Joey Cora, hits one first pitch. That'll be to David Howard. In a very quick 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway through it at Kansas City. 2-0 Royals.
Presented by the authority of the Chicago White Sox. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox.
There you see the numbers halfway through this ball game at Royal Stadium. 2-5-0 for Kansas City, 0-1-0 for the White Sox. Mark Davis all the way for Kansas City. Same thing for Wilson Alvarez with the Sox. Wilson certainly deserves a better fate than what he has been put through tonight. That 2-run homer off the bat of Harvey Pulliam should have been an easy out. Little miscommunication out there between the right and center fielder puts 2 runs on the board, and it makes the Sox problem just a little bit more. Kirk Gibson leading things off, strike 1. Sox have been ahead in ball games only 1 time in the last 7. That's not good. Well, 8 now. First, Gibson takes ball 1, count even now at 1. Kirk 1 for 2 on the night. He had a single. Infield variety, that was in the 3rd inning. Did not score, advanced to 3rd base. But he is still running very well. Had the defensive play of the game without a doubt. What a play he made on Tim Raines in the 3rd. Saving 1 run. Inning-ending catch. High fastball, fish ain't biting, so it's a 2-1 count. Gibson never really regarded as being a good defensive player, but he is blessed with outstanding speed. So he can overcome a lot of mistakes with that good speed. He could run down a football, though, when he was at Michigan State. One of the really great wide receivers in the country. Pro scouts have said in football that he was the best prospect in that draft when he was a senior at Michigan State. .6'3", 225-pound wide receiver. Gibson has had problems against left-handed pitching in his career. Just trying to widen out his stance right here and not stride against Alvarez. Got him. Two-two pitch coming up from Alvarez. A little late on the fastball, fouls it off left side.
Now, Wimby was talking about the outstanding catch that Gibson made in the third inning, robbing Raines of extra bases, saving a run.
Well, he got fully extended right there. Great concentration right on the ball. There's a fastball hit right up the middle. Not hard. Cora with the backhand. No chance. So Gibson aboard. That's his second consecutive infield single. Hit it and run.
The center fielder, Brian McCray.
And the leadoff man on once again for Kansas City. Going to bring up Brian McCray, son of the skipper Hal. Brian is 1 for 2. He singled in the third inning as well.
Cleveland has scored a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, still hitting, leading Minnesota 2-1.
Well, that's good news. Minnesota, you can't ever count those guys out, though. They have just been pulling out game after game after game. So until that
thing about it is, 2 weeks ago, you could say the same thing about the Sox. We just got to get out of this thing, get back into that mode once again.
Well, there you see Gibson with his lead. Not a big one. He's off. They got the pick off. Throw down to Ozzie Guillen by Ventura, and Gibson is nailed. Kicks his helmet. He's not real pleased right there. He had a very short lead going on the first move of Alvarez.
He's trying to get that momentum, the walking lead right there. He just lost a little bit of his timing. As Wilson will go over there, and he's just a gone goose, that's all. Had like a little stutter step. Ozzie stayed right with him.
Yeah, so that's the first out of the inning. Now McRae, the hitter, pops this one up in the infield.
Ozzie has second thoughts about it, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't hang in there with Gibson.
Well, there's a play exactly where we talk about so often that ball be runner got to be out. You can't ask second baseman and shortstops to hang down there with a guy like Gibson. Gibson probably hardest base runner I've ever seen. So with 2 outs, let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
George Brett will be the hitter now with 2 outs. There you see the line, 2-6-0 for the Royals, 0-1-0 for the White Sox. George 0 for 1. He's a little late on this curveball. He's having a little trouble.
Almost dehorned Garrett.
Yeah, little Smokey Garrett right there. There's Smokey. He wanted to say hi to his family watching the game in Texas, Austin, Texas. Let me use his golf clubs today, Smoke. I'm really sorry. I only broke 4 or 5 of them. That's all right. He doesn't have any golf balls left either. Other than that.
Well, I know whether they were not replenished when the round was over.
Didn't lose one. Are you kidding? Straight as I hit him.
Hey.
Geez, I only parred 3 houses today.
That Cleveland run was knocked in by Carlos Martinez to put the Tribe on top.
Ow. Carlos Martinez doing a good job for the Tribe. And they are in the 9th. There you see George. He's got that big old brace on that right leg. Can't even get his blue sock over that. George really never prided himself on how cool he looked in his uniform. He just played good.
He's folding down.
Yeah. You and I, that's what our main goal was. There's strike 3. Good fastball there by Alvarez. So he punches out George Brett. No runs, 1 hit. They don't leave anybody. After 5 at Kansas City, it's 2-0 Royals.
Off the top of the 6th inning, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Royals. No runs, just 1 hit, and no errors for the Sox. Southpaw Mark Davis. First pitch fastball, 2-hopper, Shumpert. Ozzie now 0 for 2. And a reminder, on Friday, August 30th at 7:05, the Sox host the Cleveland Indians, and the first 20,000 adults will receive a hip pack courtesy of Miller Lite. So just call or visit your local Ticketmaster at 312-831-1-SOX. They'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Tim Raines. Tim 0 for 2 was robbed of a base hit on a beautiful catch by Kurt Gibson in the 3rd inning. Dakota about a step back of the bag at 3rd. Benzinger halfway at 1st. Curveball strike. Sox in the last 14 and a third now, and just 1 base hit, and that was an infield number. Another number, 2 hopper, Pacoda.
And there's a jam shot right there. So Mark Davis doing a good job tonight. 1-hit shutout is what he's working on. Jams Tim Raines. You know, as a career starter, you see the fastball running in on his hands. 13 and 30. As a starter with just a 5.18 earned run average. So Mark Davis has not had a whole lot of success starting a ball game, except for tonight.
Here's Robin. Robin 0 for 1, fly deep, right against the fence in right center field his first trip, and he walked. Takes the ball. Well, lately, Sox taking mediocre, or not mediocre, that's the wrong phrase, I guess the right phrase, guys who are struggling and turning them into Don Drysdale's out there.
Yeah, well, you look at Rod Nichols from Cleveland, the 3-hit shutout the other night. You see Sweet Lou.
He's a happy camper.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody looks like Drysdale and Koufax out there right now to the Sox hitters.
There's a man who caught both of them. Two-one pitch. Hung a curveball, got away with it. Also final, Fulton County Stadium. Braves beat Montreal 3-2. St. Louis leading San Francisco 4-3, bottom of the 5th at Busch Stadium. Giants scored 3 in the top of the 1st. And Houston hammering the Mets 8-1, bottom of the 5th down in Texas. Fastball inside to count 4. Well, the races are, with the exception of the American League West.
Yeah, which is supposed to be the most exciting one, and it was a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Everything else really tightening up.
Fastball, souvenir left side.
I'll tell you what Mark Davis is doing tonight, Hawk. He is using that fastball a heck of a lot more than he has in the past, and we've seen him in the American League anyway.
Yeah, primarily it was almost a flip-flop. As many fastballs as he's throwing tonight, he was throwing that many curveballs.
Right, and we said it so many times, tough to get a curveball called for a strike these days.
Fastball, Shumpert. So another 1-2-3 inning for Mark Davis. 3rd time he's done it after 5.5. 2-0 Kansas City. 6th inning, just 1 hit for the Sox. That was a 3rd inning infield chopper by Lance Johnson. There's a good hat, young Sox fan. And a reminder, the White Sox wives' daughters are going to play the Grandstand Wives. That's Saturday, August 31st at 11 a.m. Armour Park Square, 33rd and Shields, and donation $1 per raffle ticket.
And I'll tell you what, there are some great raffle prizes. I've got a list right here from Pete, who is...
What's Pete going to raffle with?
Oh, Pete, who is here in Kansas City. They drove to Cleveland and drove all the way here. Some of the things, 7 mobile foams, 2 of those DeLong Sox wool and leather jackets valued at $300 each. You can win that for $1. Wow. The raffle price. 2 Sox starter jackets, 2 Felco jackets, 4 official White Sox jerseys, same ones the Sox wear on the field. 2 lights from the roof of Old Comiskey Park that sold for over $500 at the auction the other day. Autographed items by the White Sox players themselves. They'll be there. A lot of the guys will be there. Gift certificates, prints of the old and new Comiskey Park, and much, 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 much more. How about
Todd
that?
Benzinger hits it hard. 2 hopper Ozzie. 1 gone.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
That's a great list right there.
Ho.
I'll tell you.
The 3rd baseman, Bill Pacoda.
That's an outstanding list. Wow, for just $1 raffle ticket.
That's right. And you get to see a great ball game. Pete tells me that his club doesn't have a whole lot of talent on it, and our Sox wives have got a real good chance to break into that victory column.
Here's Bill Picotta. There you see he is 2 for 2 tonight. Well, once again, we'll tell you about the opportunity to do that. That'll be Saturday, August 31st at 11 a.m. Armour Park Square, 33rd and Shields.
That's right behind Old Comiskey
Yes.
Park. That's where you used to hit them all the time. Remember when over the roof into that park?
Ooh, good hack by Picotta. And the count 0-2. Yeah, that was with that
wedge?
Real brand new 4-wood that I had. Picotta with a single and double. He scored ahead of Harvey Pulliam's inside the park homer in the 4th inning. The final from Cleveland Stadium. Tribe beats the Twins 2-1. Yes.
It's the best news we've heard in weeks.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Starters in that game on the sheet were Swindell and Morris.
Ooh, wow. Great matchup.
And as we mentioned, Carlos Martinez drove home the winning run in the 8th inning.
Tell you what, I'd like to pitch in that ballpark with the wind blowing in.
Wow. Well, that's nasty from a hitting standpoint. They'll come back on a checkup. 2 gone. Yeah, in that ballpark and this one. Let's throw it right
The
up,
right fielder.
out over the plate, up high a little bit, and let them put the hammer down.
Wail on it. Far as you can.
Can of corn. Here's Pulliam. Struck out in the 1st and had a little weak fly ball in the right center field. A mix up between Sammy Sosa and Lance Johnson. Got between them for the inside to Parker. He turned on that one.
Sure, you got that homer under your belt. You can hit next time up there. You go free and easy.
Meanwhile, it's 0-1.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing what getting a cheap hit will do for the guy his next go around?
That's why this is such a great game. Such a cerebral game.
All of a sudden you're good again.
That's good change from Wilson, and the count 0-2. Well, the baseball player, I'm sure that in professional football and basketball it's the same thing, but the baseball player has a tremendous ability to rationalize in his own mind. I mean, he can take a negative situation and turn it into a positive situation if you just give him the opportunity. Would it be a little duck snort here or whatever, you know.
And vice versa. You line out a few times, now all of a sudden the guy thinks he's terrible.
Well, yeah, but the reverse, I think, of what I'm talking about is probably more prevalent. That ball's hit hard into right. That's a breaking ball hit hard, way back. You can put it on the board. Well, Harvey Pulliam just hammered that hanger right there from Wilson Alvarez, and it's a 3-0 Royal lead. He's strong.
He is that. Boy, he put a good swing on this one. That was a horrible swing he had at the other one. A little looping fly ball to right field. But the mental processes at work, as you said, turned him into an outstanding hitter for his next few times up there, without a doubt. They'll keep on occurring, and some adversity happens, I'm sure. But watch him right here. He keeps his hands back. Puts a good pitch to hit, though. See how he stayed closed. First couple times up, he's flying open early with those hips. Right there, he stayed closed a lot longer and utilized that good power that he has. You don't hit too many out of this yard.
That was just a rocket. There's David Howard. David has flied to center and walked. Breaking ball. Final from Baltimore. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 6-1. Top of the 9th at Yankee Stadium. Rangers leading New York 7-2. .3-7-0 for Kansas City. 0-1-0 for the Sox. Pitch low and the count 1-1.
Now there's a happy camper. He didn't have to go looking for wallets on that one.
There's a shot into center field. David Howard just turned on that one. He's on his way to second base. He's going to get there.
Well, that's shades of Royal baseball right there. David Howard turning a sure single into a double. First of all, great hustle off the bat right there at home plate. He's thinking to. Gets the hit, as you can see. A good job. Shot through the hole. Ozzie can't make it. Now they're playing him the opposite way, so Lance Johnson's got a long way to roam to get to that ball in left center field. Howard thinking 2 all the way. That old Hal McRae, George Brett type of baseball that we saw in the 70s and 80s. Real obvious right there, and he knows that Lance Johnson doesn't have a strong throwing arm. That's the second key point.
So with 2 out, that'll bring up Terry Shumpert. Bounced to short and hit into a 5-4-3 double play. It's double number 7 for David Howard. Shump takes the fastball strike. Chopper, somebody's got to hurry. Infield hit for Shumpert.
David Howard gets to third base easily. Ozzie wisely doesn't risk a throw right there. Run could have scored. Shumpert has great speed. So he's at first base. Tim Spear, the hitter. No relation to Sammy Spear. You can see Ozzie barehanding that ball. Luckily, that didn't go off his fingertips because Howard would have been able to score on that if he messes it up at all. Jeff Torborg on his way out to the mound right now. He's got Draymond warming up in the Sox bullpen, and he's going to go with them. A 2-out rally by the Royals here in the 6th inning, and that is it for Wilson Alvarez.
So we'll see if Hal McRae counters with Brent Maine. So breaking the action as 21-year-old southpaw Wilson Alvarez will depart. Draymonds comes on. We'll be back to give you Brian's numbers right after this.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Royals, and the Sox have made a pitching change with 2 out. Wilson Alvarez is gone, and Brian Draymond, the right-hander, coming on to work for the Sox. Draymond has pitched very well as of late. 2-1 record on the season, 4.13 earned run average in 19 ball games. Brian has worked 24 innings, just given up 18 hits, 11 walks, and 14 strikeouts. But he has developed a palm ball, which he uses as his changeup, and he has been very effective as a result. Brian scuffled in his first 2 outings. A sinking fastball and the slider were almost the same type of speed. They were the same speed, so the American League hitters were able to adjust to him. But since coming back, he has pitched very well. He's allowed just 3 earned runs in his last 16 2/3 innings. That covers his last 12 appearances, and that pencils out to a 1.62 earned run average. So there you look at Wilson Alvarez on the bench. He pitched much better than what the numbers will indicate. He worked 5 2/3 innings, gave up the 3 runs. He is responsible for the 2 base runners on. 9 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. But that inside the park homer by Harvey Pulliam in the 4th inning, little pop fly to right field, miscommunication by Lance Johnson and Sammy Sosa. 2 runs on the board for the Royals, and now it's 3-0. Tim Spear will hit against the right-hander Draymond.
Spears bounced to short and flying to right. Shumpert, good lead. Oh, he started to come up with that right arm.
He really did. Davey Phillips gave it an extra long look. That's what you like to see from an umpire. Let's see if Shumpert kind of leaning that way. Uh-oh. Boy, that's close. I think he tagged him almost up to the elbow.
Shumpert has 16 stolen bases in 24 attempts. Brian Draymond out of Kenton, Kentucky. Spear beats it foul. No balls in the strike with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Royals. No runs, just 1 hit for the Sox. Pitch out, nothing on, and the count evens at 1. Spears, we mentioned, just 25 years old, out of Waco. All with Mike McFarland. There's a look at Jeff Torborg, Brent Maine, and Spear. Catchers for this ball club. McFarland, the DL earlier.
That's one of the real strengths of this ball club, is the 3 young catchers that they have.
McFarland's good looking.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
he looks like he's just getting better and better.
Yeah, it looks like he's ready to start hitting too. I mean, for power.
There he is.
There's Michael. Well, he was red hot too when he got hurt at a collision at home plate. 13 homers, 39 RBIs, and just 245 at bats. 273 is his batting average.
16 doubles, 2 triples. It's low and inside, and the count 2-1.
Well, you with double figures in this ballpark, especially if you're a catcher, that's pretty impressive.
So Brian Draymond with a 2-1 count. And runners at first and third. There's David Howard at third. Terry Shumpert at first. See if Shumpert will be off with a pitch. Does not go. Pops him up right side. Robin Ventura. That'll do it. But a solo homer by Harvey, Pulliam is second of the ball game, and it's a 3-0 Kansas City lead. Participating advertiser of White Sox baseball is Kohler Dodge, where it's Advantage Dodge. 3-0. Ooh. Kansas City here in the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Thomas, Fisk, and Greatbeck to face the southpaw Mark Davis. Sox have had 3 base runners. Walk to Fisk, walk to Ventura, and an infield single by Lance Johnson, their only hit of the ball game. So the Sox lately, you well know, having a whole bunch of problems putting points on the board. Outfield straight up for Big Frank. He's flying to left and was caught looking. Fastball.
Well, you know, the thing about this rut that the team is in right now, it started off with a defensive rut, and then it just followed immediately with an offensive.
It's usually what happens.
Lackluster, and that, wow, boy, you put those 2 together. A good changeup by Mark Davis, and it just seems like it's lasting forever.
Well, when it starts off with that defense, usually it's I don't know why. I don't think anybody can give you that answer, a definitive answer. It seems like it's like a bad virus that's got to run its course. There's a curveball low and inside, and the count 1-2. There's Tom Gordon. Flash loosening up down in the Royal pen. There's a shot, base hit into center field on the 1-2 pitch. So Big Frank aboard.
Well, Frank went with that pitch. It was down and away. He made an adjustment. That's what Frank's, the thing that you're amazed about. That last at bat he had was absolutely brutal. Took a couple breaking balls, and he struck out on the weak swing on the fastball, and right there he gets that fastball down and out over the plate, pretty close to the pitch that he struck out on the previous time, and just nails it in the right center field for a single.
Here's Carlton. He's walked and flying to right. Well, everybody talks about how strong Big Frank is, and that's true. Talk about the terrific bat speed that he can generate. long distances he can hit the ball. The one thing that's not talked about enough in Big Frank's case, he's just a smart hitter. Here's a young man, 23 years old. Some guys, it takes 4, 5, 6 years for him to learn how to hit in the big leagues. That's a high drive to deep left field. Gibson goes back at the fence. Hits on top. Yes, you can put it on the board. A 2-run homer for Fisk, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
All right, 2 good at bats back to back. And Carlton Fisk, that would have been an easy homer just about anywhere else other than here in Cleveland. Just got enough to get it out of here. That's the 11th homer of the season for Carlton. 53 RBIs now on the year. We've got a 3-2 ball game. It's becoming interesting here at Royal Stadium. Let's take a look at it. It is a fastball, well, belt high out over the plate, and Carlton Fisk has made a living hitting this pitch. Nailed it. Mark Davis maybe losing a bit, so that'll be it for Davis with McRae out to the mound right now. Another angle. Wow. That away, Pugsley.
Right on top. Meanwhile, he'll take it. So a good effort by southpaw Mark Davis, making just his second start in his 21st appearance of the season. A break in the action. And we'll be back to tell you about the new Kansas City pitcher right after this.
And there you see Carlton Fisk, who put 2 points on the board for the White Sox just a moment ago with that 2-run homer. 3-2 Royals. And Hal McRae goes to his bullpen and comes out with Tom Flash Gordon. Well, here's a little stick of dynamite right there, about 5'9", 180-pounder. Sees 9-11 on the year with a .393 earned run average in 28 ball games. 106 hits given up in 126 innings. He has walked a lot for him. 67 walks. He can punch you out. He's averaging better than a strikeout per inning. In his last 10 appearances, they have all come in relief. He was a starter early on. Sox racked him in an appearance here at Royal Stadium early in the season. He has recorded a decision in 7 of those outings, 4-3. He's 4 wins and 3 losses. He allowed 1 earned run in his last 8 2/3 innings and 4 earned runs in his last 21 1/3 inning, which comes to a 1.69 earned run average in that time. He's got a great curveball, no doubt about it. Has the fastball, uses that effectively, but his curveball, that yacker, is his #1 pitch.
He's got outstanding ability. Some of the best stuff in the American League. The question is, can he get it over, and can he control his emotions out there on the mound? So Tom Gordon out of Avon Park, Florida. And it's Danny Pasqua will pinch hit for Craig Graybeck, who was 0 for 2 tonight. Last time the Sox saw Gordon here at Kansas City, they lit him up pretty well. But that was then, this is now. 3 runs, 9 hits. No errors for Kansas City. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Sox. And he takes it low. There's a curveball strike. So the count 1-1.
Whoa. Now he'll change speeds on that curveball, so
he's giving it a chance to work. He hadn't overthrown one yet.
Yeah.
Last time he was out there, he was overthrowing all the breaking pitches. This is where he can set up a fastball to where it'll add about a foot to it.
Oh, right there. Wow. Thank you. Pretty good one right there around the knees.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you remember the last time he was really upset with the umpires in that game over here. It really messed him up. He was out of there early. He can hang a curveball like he did right there and still get the hitter out because he's got that good tight rotation, late break to it. And Pasqua, watch it right here. That's just a curveball.
Especially to the left-handed hitter, to the strong left-handed hitter. The curveball up as Sammy Sosa's been called back. Warren Newsom will come out to hit for him. In fact, that high, hard curveball to the strong left-handed hitter is not a bad pitch. A strong right-handed hitter it is.
Well, you know who could do that with his knuckle curve when he first came up was Bert Hooton. He had a good fastball. And Bert had the knuckle curve ball that he could change speeds on, but boy, he could throw it hard upstairs to either right or left-handed hitters and get them out, jam themselves. Do a lot of things with that pitch.
So 1 out, and that'll bring up the Deacon. There's Sammy 0 for 2 tonight. Just called up from Vancouver. He joined us late. He was hitting .267, 3 homers, 19 RBIs. So here's the Deacon hitting at .287, 4 homers. He's knocked in 20. Outfield bunched a bit, shaded just a little to the left. Fastball strike.
Well, he's got a good fastball. He can get up there 90 mile an hour plus.
Outstanding ability. An outstanding arm.
Ooh, look at that. Now that's nasty right there. That's a late breaker. Straight down curveball. This will break a lot of hitters' hearts right here. We were talking to Bobby Valentine, asking him who he thought the toughest pitcher in the league was to just actually hit the ball, and he said Flash Gordon.
Curveball. Just got a piece of it. So the count hangs at 0-2. Gordon's just 23 years old. Two years ago was 17-9 for Kansas City. Last year 12-11. Off the plate. 1-2 the count. Braves beat Montreal 3-2. Giants have tied up St. Louis at 4, still hitting in the top of the 8th inning. Houston 8, New York 1. That's in the 7th. Down at the Astrodome. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs beat the Dodgers 2-1. Pittsburgh over San Diego 5-2 at Three Rivers, and the Reds beat Philadelphia 4-2 at Riverfront. Checks it up. So the count goes full. Bo Jackson, as we talked to you about earlier, walked his first time up, hit into a double play his second time up. Third time up, he walked, stole second.
Good. That's one of the things everybody worried about in baseball. There's so many different moves that you have to make. You have to be able to move those hips. You know, of course, stealing a base is one of them. Use that crossover step, get accelerated, sliding into bases. That's tough to do.
Payoff pitch to Newsom.
Wow.
Good at bat for the Deacon.
That's a great at bat right there. Boy, laying off that curveball, take your hat off to the Deacon right there. Tough pitch. Tough pitcher. Sox trying to get something going here, or continue something that they started with that 2-run homer by Fisk. Watch the 3-2 curveball. Late breaker. Fish ain't biting.
Here's Lance Johnson. Lance had an infield single back in the 3rd inning. Gordon has an excellent move to first base for a right-hander. He is quick. 3-2 Kansas City on top. 3-9-0 for the Royals. 2-3-0 for the Sox. Lance chasing that bad one. He's got to regroup. He's got to back out and try to visualize, get some mental imagery going for you. Yes, he did. So the count 0-2.
And he just put Gordon in the driver's seat, catbird seat, swinging at 2 pitches in the dirt. He should be up there 2-0. Licking his chops for the next pitch. But no.
Second strikeout for Tom Gordon. And with 2 out, that'll bring up Joey Cora.
And you can see why Gordon averages over a strikeout an inning. Straight down right there. That's a good pitch. Now that's the only strike that Lance Johnson got. He was way over the top, as you can see on the replay. So 3 pitches, another batter gone. That'll bring up Joey Cora with 2 out.
Cora with that bunt, and he bounced to short. Outfield swung around to the left. Cora takes a strike. Royals with 2 runs in the 4th inning, an inside the park home run. A 2-run inside the Parker by Harvey Pulliam. Picked up another one in the 6th. A shot over the left center field wall by Harvey Pulliam. And the Sox with a 2-run homer off the bat of Carlton Fisk here in the 7th. There's Pudgley. Carlton now 11 homers, 53 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. That could be trouble. Excellent play by Pacoda. Up with it. Long pig. He gets him. Outstanding defensive play by Bill Pacoda. And that'll retire the side. The Sox come up with 2 after 6.5. They trail it 3-2.
Our Miller Lite scoreboard in the American League, Minnesota lost at Cleveland 2-1. Toronto beat Baltimore 6-1. The Rangers 7-2 over the Yankees in the 9th inning. Looks like they're going to win that second game of their series. Boston and Oakland just getting started on the West Coast. Detroit at California. Milwaukee is at Seattle. In the National League, Cubs win 2-1 over the Dodgers. Pittsburgh 5, San Diego 2. Cincinnati 4-2 over Philadelphia. Sweet Lou is a very happy camper tonight. Atlanta 3-2, tightening that NL West over Montreal. 8-1 Houston over the Mets. Boy, are they ever bad. San Francisco and St. Louis 4-4 tie in the 8th inning at Busch Stadium. And a look at Danny Pasqua, who is going in to play first base. Robin Ventura will go across the diamond and go back to his customary third base position. Craig Grayback gone, pinch hit for, and Warren Newsom, the Deacon, who had a good at bat right there, walking. I'll tell you one thing, you're looking at one of the real premier pinch hitters in the American League right now, and Warren Newsom. He's in the ball game, and Kirk Gibson's going to lead things off for the Royals, who lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th.
It'll be Gibson, McRae, and Brett. Gibson 2 for 3, 2 infield singles. Brian Draymond in relief of Wilson Alvarez. First pitch, sinker. Cora. 1 gone. So here comes McRae. He's 1 for 3, had a 3rd inning single. He's also bounced to 3rd and popped to short. Pitching matchups in the finale of this 3-game set. Tomorrow night it'll be Greg Hibbert against Kevin Appier. And the Sox will return home on Thursday, starting that 4-game series with the Cleveland Indians, and then Kansas City comes in for 4. So an 8-game homestand. Fastball off the plate. That's going foul down the left field line. Souvenir time. So the count 1-1. Outfield spread out from McCray. Following that 8-game homestand, the Sox will be off to Texas for 3, Oakland for 3, and California for 4. Where was it?
Where was that one?
Activity down in the Sox pen, double barrel style. Melito Perez and Scott Radinsky. Cora, easy two-hopper. So 2 out, and it'll bring up George Brett. George has popped to left, walked, and he has struck out. Outfield bunches Brett just a shade. Ventura well back at third. Same for Pasqua at first. There's a breaking ball strike. Sinker away, 1-1. Oh, good hack by Brett. 1-2. Final now from the Bronx. Indeed, the Rangers have defeated the Yankees 7-2.
And the hot and cold Texas Rangers are getting a little bit closer in this race. They came in 9.5 games back. Now they're 7 games over the 500 mark.
Ow. Got in on him. Cora throws him out, so a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Brian Draymond after 7. Kansas City leads it 3-2. It's the 8th inning here, and let's check out our scoring summary. Here you see the 2-run inside the park homer by Harvey Pulliam. That was in the 4th inning, made it 2-0. Then Pulliam's second home run of the ball game. Line drive shot over the left center field wall off a hanger from Wilson Alvarez, made it 3-0. Then Carlton Fisk's 2-run homer. High towering drive hit right on top of the fence, bounced over, and it's a 3-2 Kansas City lead. For the Sox, it'll be Ozzie, then the top of the order, Raines and Ventura to face 23-year-old right-hander Flash Gordon. Ozzie 0 for 2. He's flied to left and he's bounced to second. Takes the ball and the count 1-0. Curveball strike. He's got one that'll come right off the table, straight down. And that Cup 2-1 victory over the Dodgers. Castillo the winner, Ramon Martinez the loser. There's some gas in the count 1-2. Juan Dunston with a 2-run homer in that ball game for the victory.
Dunston, another guy who's a free agent at the end of the year. Man.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Flash Gordon doesn't have any saves yet this season. He's been a starter up until 10 appearances coming out of that bullpen. Actually 14 appearances. Yes.
On that curveball, there's a leadoff single right by Todd Bingzinger. So the co-captain aboard.
Now, as he gets his first hit, it is a breaking ball, but you know, a lot of times this hanging breaking ball is not that bad of a pitch for him. Ozzie waited back nicely, just shoots it right by Benzinger. So the leadoff man on. See what Jeff Torborg wants to do in this situation. Sox with only 4 hits in this ball game. Tim Raines the hitter. Difference in this game has been the Kansas City defense. Great play by Gibson, saved a run. Pacoda ended last inning with a super play on a ball hit off the bat of Joey Cora.
So here's Raines. He's 0 for 3. He's flied to center, was robbed of that extra base hit by Gibson in the third, and he bounced to third. Ozzie, pretty good lead. Gordon wanted it, didn't get it. Breaking pitch and the count 1-0. Robin Ventura on deck and Big Frank in the hole.
Well, you got your horses up there. Going to drive in a run. These are the guys that should be able to do it.
1-1 to count. So with the checking out the National League West standings, with Dodgers losing, Braves winning, that is a tie now. Cincinnati 7 back. San Diego will remain 8.5 back. San Francisco is trailing St. Louis 5-4, bottom of the 8th at Busch Stadium. There goes Ozzie. There's the throw.
Spear looks like he can throw a little bit. Ozzie didn't look like he had a real good jump. There's a good pitch to throw on the fastball away. He throws it to the third base side of the bag, but it's still there in time to get Ozzie Guillen. See, Ozzie's going he stood straight up on his first step. He did not get a good jump at all right there. Stood straight up, did not lean forward at all, and the ball beat him, so he's out of there.
Count 2-1 to Raines. Benzinger not guarding the line at first. Gas. Fastball hit in the left field, short left field. Gibson coming on. He's there, makes the catch in fair territory, and they're 2 gone.
The third baseman, Robin Ventura.
And that Cleveland 2-1 victory over Minnesota. Swindell the winner, Morris the loser. Olin picked up his 8th save. 2-11-1 for the Tribe, 1-6-1 for the Twins. As Robin steps in, Robin is 0 for 2. Takes the ball. Toronto over Baltimore 6-1. Guzman the winner. Rhodes the loser. Devon White homered, number 13. It's off the plate, and the count 2-0 to Ventura. 7-2 Rangers over the Yankees. Ruben Sierra, number 18. Juan Gonzalez, number 26. And Steve Buechele, number 18, all went deep for Texas. On the outside corner, pitching matchups in that Boston-Oakland game. Mark Gardner against Bob Welch. Tigers against California. That's Cerruti against Fenley. And Milwaukee at Seattle. August against DeLucia.
Oh boy.
Ball on the count, 2-2.
Oh, when he throws strikes with his curveball, this guy's almost unhittable. Look at this. The bottom just drops out. Robin way over the top of that pitch. Man.
So leadoff single by Ozzie. He's caught stealing. Nothing across after 7.5. Royals on top, 3-2. 3-2 Kansas City. Bottom of the 8th inning and a pitching change.
It will be right-hander Melito Perez coming to work for the White Sox. Melito will be out there for the 35th time. He is 6-4, 3.09 earned run average. 113 2/3 innings, just 88 hits allowed. That's great. 42 walks, 96 strikeouts for Melito Perez. 215 is what the American League is batting against Melito, so he's here to hold him right there. Maybe the Sox can mount a charge in the 9th inning. I think they ought to get Gordon out of there. I think he's tired.
Now he has 3 strikeouts since coming on back in the 7th, as Benzinger will lead it off, followed by Pacoda and Harvey Pulliam. Benzinger 0 for 3, has grounded out twice to Ozzie, once to Ventura. Takes a strike. 3-9-0 for the Royals, 2-4-0 for the Sox. All runs tonight coming via the home run ball. One and inside the Parker, back in the 4th inning for KC. There's a strike. Count 0-2 right now. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
Along with Tom Paciorek, Ken Harrelson from Royal Stadium in Kansas City. Second of this 3-game set. Sox on a 7-game losing streak as a splitter, and Benzinger will grab some bench.
There's nasty right here. Not many guys are going to hit this one. Melito Perez, when he gets 2 strikes on you and throws you this type of split finger, not a whole lot you're going to do about it. Straight down, Benzinger over the top. There's Storm Davis warming up for the Royals in their bullpen. Glenn Izal, the coach, on the left of your screen, and this is Bill Pacoda.
He's 2 for 3, a single, a double, a run scored. Outfield playing him around to the right as he takes the fastball strike. And a reminder, on Saturday, August 31st, the Sox continue that series with the Indians. All fans in attendance will see a fabulous fireworks display following that ball game, courtesy of IVI Travel. Game time is 6:05. 2 Hopper, Ozzie. 2 gone. And a reminder, immediately following tonight's ball game, it will be the 9 o'clock news.
The right fielder, Harvey Pulliam.
So that'll bring up the hitting star tonight for Kansas City, Harvey Pulliam. 23-year-old outfielder out of San Francisco, 2 for 3, 2 homers. That first one in the 4th inning, the inside to Parker, just a little fly ball. Got in between Sammy Sosa and Lance Johnson. Either one of them could have caught it. Nobody did. And he circled the bases as he takes a strike. But the one in the 6th inning, it was a rocket. Hanging curveball from Wilson Alvarez, and he just put a charge into it. In case you're looking to the Sox 9th, Thomas, Fisk, and Pasqua. Two strikes to Pulliam. Grab some bench. 1-2-3 inning with a couple of punch outs for Perez. They'll go to the 9th, trailing Kansas City 3-2. Here we go, top of the 9th inning. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Kansas City. A couple of runs on 4 hits and no errors for the Sox. It'll be Big Frank, Carlton Fisk, and Dan Pasqua to face the right-hander Tom Gordon. Flash coming on back in the 7th inning. So here's Big Frank. He is 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. High chopper. Comes Shumpert. Has time. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, the Kansas City defense has made all of the plays tonight. All the routine ones and a couple great ones, really helping the Kansas City pitching in that department. Sox with that one little lapse, not able to make that play, 2-run homer. That's the difference as you look at Jeff Montgomery. There's a good relief pitcher for you right there.
Here's Carlton, his 2-run homer in the 7th. And that has been it for the Sox. Budge takes a strike. Top of the 9th inning now at Busch Stadium. Cardinals still leading the Giants 5-4. And Houston 8-3 over the Mets. That's in the 8th inning down in Texas. Sox on the verge of losing 8 in a row. Pitch foul back right side. And quickly the count 0-2. Fastball pops him up. Jumper.
He came with a fastball pretty much right down the middle of the plate. But Carlton a little bit in between right there. Have to be aware of that curveball. So he's able to get away with a lot of fastball mistakes. Did right there. So there's 2 down, and the Sox are down to their last bullet here.
Danny Pasqua hit for Graybeck in the 7th inning and struck out. He was the first hitter to face Flash Gordon. There's a shot into right field as here comes Pulling. He'll pull it up, taking on the first hop. So the Sox stay alive on the 2-out single by Pasqua.
The right fielder,
well, here's Danny Pasqua. There's a breaking ball. That one really didn't do a whole lot. That wasn't that good yacker we talk about, and that's the one you're supposed to hit. Pasqua. Pulliam didn't want to risk extra bases right there. He's playing a little bit deeper now. If you look out in the outfield, the Royals outfielders are playing much deeper to guard against any extra base hits. They'll let the ball fall in front of them. They will not let it get over their heads.
Here's Newsom. Deacon pinch hit for Sammy Sosa. Drew a walk. Had a good at bat against Gordon. Takes it low. Keep it down, Thomas. Keep the ball down to the Deacon.
Yeah, make a good pitch with that curveball.
Short lead by Pasqua. Outfield straight up. Low 2-0. Skipper Hal McRae. Kansas City 10 games over since McRae took over the helm. Newsom with the 2-0 pitch.
Well, right there's pretty good confidence in your breaking ball. Throw it 2-0. It goes with his best pitch, so it's 2-1 now.
Shot, base hit into left field. So the 2-out singles by Pasqua and Newsom, and the Sox hanging tough. Lance Johnson has been called back, and Matt Marullo has come out to hit. And here comes Hal McRae. Hal's going to stay with him. So Lance Johnson, 1 for 3 tonight, being called back.
Gee, it took McRae about 2 minutes to get to the mound to say something. It took him about 3 or 4 seconds. Mac finally makes his way back to the dugout. And here's Marullo with that tying run in scoring position at second. Outfield deep and straight away for him.
3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Kansas City. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Sox. 2 out. Pasqua at second and Newsom at first. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Gibson very deep in left field. McRae a couple of steps over towards left center. Medium depth. Pulliam straight away. Medium depth and right. Curveball high and the count 1-1. Back out of play, Souvenir left side. So the Sox now down to their last bullet. It's a ball and 2 strikes. There are the runners. Fastball.
Little tardy on that one. There's Willie Thompson, Scotty Fletcher analyzing that ball.
Once again, the 1-2 delivery. So Gordon strikes out Matt Marullo and the ball game is over. Sox are beaten by a score of 3-2. They have lost 8 in a row. And we'll be back with our Miller High Life play of the ball game right after this. Our highlight play of the game came in a scoreless tie. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bill Pacoda at second and Harvey Pulliam at the plate. Wimpy.
It was a fastball, pretty good pitch by Alvarez. Looked like a routine fly ball to right field. Now little miscommunications. Lance cut in front of Sammy Sosa right there, and as you can see, the results. Easy inside the park homer. Pulliam circles the bases, and that turned out to be the difference in the ball game as the Sox lose by 1 tonight.
And we'll be back with the totals right after this.